Okay, I'm going to hand over to Florian, who's going to take us through a short demo of the new version of Impact Stack.
Hi, again. So the next generation of Impact Stack, as I mentioned, already has like a lot to offer when it comes to the support experience and the page building and the action building. So what you can see here is an action that probably looks very familiar to you in terms of many of the placement on the page and things like that. But in the background, it's completely redeveloped. So obviously this would be adjusted to match your design, and it will look like your current themes. All the themes that are available on the current version of Impact Stack will automatically also work on the next generation. So that's also something that we've migrated in a way already. So, as we are going through this demo, I just thought I'd show you a few of the examples of new things. One of the things that we are changing is how progress bars work. So it's much more flexible in how you can arrange content around the progress bar. And we're also working on a version of the progress bar that shows like the live ticker and who's signing up right now in combination with the progress bar as like a more compact social proof element. Another thing that you can see here that's very nice is the way that we are implementing some of these special form fields, like the opt-in question for a channel like email. It always comes with a lot of different possible information that might be relevant. So to give you an example, many people use an opt-in field with some kind of information above the question. So in this case, it says stay connected and then an introductory sentence. Many organizations use a warning, like if users choose no, a warning appears that asks them whether they are sure that they definitely do not want to receive any further emails. Now, all of this is possible with the current version of Impact Stack, but I'm going to show you the form field on the form builder for this. And that is really where it kind of gets exciting because it's very easy to customize this and to just make changes, and you don't have to like put this together with like a lot of little pieces of HTML or different form fields. And that is also the example for other donation fields, because someone asked about this. A lot of the donation components and a lot of these new special kind of form fields that have more to it than, let's say, the first name, which is just a text box. They will have a very nice interface that allow you to customize it. Another example of what you can see on this page here is the changes to the letter display. So this is a nice example of something that you probably already know, because letter displays are already available for the current version of Impact Stack. But we've improved that quite a bit. So there are two things here. One is that you can add signatures to the open letter and do that in a very nice way. So if you have a number of people where you want to show their signature, and the other thing is that you can show the counter. So you can write an entire sentence with the live counter of the person of how many people have signed the open letter, and you can do that with a lot of formatting around it. So that's a nice element for anyone using open letters as displays. Now, I did mention that it's very easy to change the look and feel of actions. So here's another page with the page layout that has a large banner image. So that there are a lot of these pages now. This one is another one that you might recognize here. You've got the sticky form enabled as well, which is quite nice. Uh, and all of these are just a few quick ways to see how the next generation of Impact Stack can really produce very quite modern, but also very flexible landing pages. Now, when logging in, I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail, but what I definitely wanted to show you is the action that we've just seen here is that we just make a few changes to this one particular action. So you can see this is the one. So you can see exactly how the next generation of Impact Stack works. So when building pages, you can see here we've got a lot of access to a lot of different sites, but this is what we call the red demo. So you can also see that in the URL. What that is just a demonstration theme and a design that allows you to kind of see how it would work. The content area, the content step here is pretty straightforward, but what's new is that it's very nice and flexible to add loads of different elements. So as we've already mentioned, there are many different elements that you can place on pages with the current version of Impact Stack, but with the new interface, you will actually have a really lovely way to add them without knowing any HTML or anything like that. So if you wanted to add a quote, you can do that. And it will automatically look good and end up on the page. And this is true for many of the snippets, like the buttons, the sticky buttons, and things like that. As you can see, it also has like a new editor that's very nice and flexible. The letter is another one of these examples. If you want to make changes to the letter, you can do that very easily. And you can add a button at the bottom here, make that sticky. And the other thing that we've got is sections that you can add to the page. So these are, if you want to have like additional content that covers the entire screen, you can use these bottom sections here. But what I really wanted to show you is the live preview. Now, this is one of the most useful features. I'm going to minimize that so we've got a bit more space. As you can see, this is the landing page that we've got here, and I can quickly make changes to the whole page. Like I can change the page layout. So now I can see the page looks very different on desktop. I can quickly check how it looks like on mobile. So on mobile, I can see, okay, the sticky button works really well. If I click the sticky button, it pops it to the form. So this is nice to kind of just test and see which of the page layouts actually works best for your content at this point in time. And you can just quickly change the look and feel of the entire page. And the same thing is true for the content. Like if you want to look at that page and you just change the image, you can see the demo updating, and now it has the image of the owls very featured prominently. The whole page looks very different. So this is just great for many different use cases. I'm going to choose another one. So you can see it update. And in this case, let's just choose this version. So this version, you have the form at the top, the image in the background. As you're scrolling down, you have the content. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add sections to the page. As I mentioned, if you go to sections here, bottom, you can choose a 1-column section, a 2-column section. I'm not going to explain all of the details, but let's just choose one. And I'm going to choose a background image. In this case, it's going to be the waist here. Then I'll add some. Well, actually, I want to add a quote. Hold on. In content, I add a quote. And now I can see the preview here. I'm just going to refresh that and scroll down. And here you see the image with my quote. I want to see how that looks like on mobile. I click on the mobile view, and here it is with the sticky button. So that is really the main difference in terms of how page building works, that you have this live preview, you can make changes and you can see them applied on the page right away. So here you have demo access public. I can remove that. Showing off preview, and here you can see the copies updated. So this is just really nice and smooth to see exactly how the pages can be editable. The second part that I'm going to show you as part of this demo, because we only have a few minutes, is the action builder. The action builder is in next generation of Impact Stack, we're kind of separating pages from actions a little bit. Now, of course, they will be very integrated, but on the current version of Impact Stack, for those of you who are using the platform, you will know that when you set up a new petition or a new email to target action or a new donation page, it always comes with one page and a form and emails. So all of it in kind of grouped. With the next generation, as you can see here in the interface, you've got pages and you have actions. The reason is that you can use the same action on many different pages. And we also want to encourage that, because that way you can set up different types of actions for different audiences. So with that in mind, this is going to change a little bit in the coming months. So by the time that you will be using it a lot, it may look a little different. But under action, you can name the action, it has a language. And here there will be a few other controls and a few other things that allow you to say what type of action it is and things like that. Then we've got the form builder. This is also the bit that I'm going to show you. So first name field, let's remove that. You can click edit. It opens this overlay. I can remove it. And now I'm going to add it back in. So this is just to show you the basic controls. We have a new grouping of these form fields, and that's very useful because it means that you can easily focus on the type of field that you want for this particular form, rather than having like hundreds and hundreds of options available. What I wanted to show you specifically is the opt-in field here, because as I mentioned, this has a lot of special features, and it kind of shows you how we're approaching the form builder changes. So it has a label, and you can control whether to show the label. You can add a description, but you can also add an intro text here. So this is a full what you see is what you get editor. You can add rich content in here as needed as an introduction. You can also leave it blank if you don't need that. The same thing is true for the opt-in warning. You don't need to set up anything special. You don't need to even know what conditional fields are. You can just put in an opt-in warning on the page with this little box. And also you can change the formatting. It has a full what you see is what you get editor. The next thing, it might be familiar to you if you've ever used this, but you can change the display of any opt-in controls on Impact Stack. But here it's just much easier. Display opt-in as checkbox or radios. You can control if you use something like legitimate interest to collect opt-ins, you can use this checkbox. You can also control in what cases people are unsubscribed, if that is useful. You can edit the legal statement that is saved in the background. So this is just saved with your opt-in. And here you can see the integration. So this is connected to our MailChimp account. So the MailChimp audiences, this is the same thing. This will look exactly the same for other email marketing integrations. You have the different lists that you can select and a few other controls that are useful. Now, the reason why I wanted to show you this is because it just shows that instead of one particular field and then 3 other fields around it, you can actually have everything in this one interface, and it's much easier and nicer to edit. And therefore, it's also much more stable and robust. So if you want to drag in new fields, you can just drag one in. You can click edit. You can change all of the validations. This is also new. When changing validations, you can control all of the validation errors. So any messages that are displayed, of course, Impact Stack does ship with defaults, and you can also change these defaults for your organization, but it will always have a very clear validation message. And if you want to go in and edit that, you can. It's right here. Another question was about payment fields. So while we don't have payments on this version of Impact Stack yet, what we do have is a few fields around payments, because these can be used to then pre-fill other payment fields. So if you want to show a teaser or a little donate ask on the thank you page, or you want to have a very nice landing page for donations, but you use a separate payment processor, what you can do is you can use these forms from Impact Stack as the first thing that the user sees, and then embed other donation forms or Impact Stack one donation pages that you link to, and pre-fill all of these values, almost like a checkout or like a payment page. In future, this will, of course, be fully integrated with all of our donation features, so there will be more. It's just that we've decided to build these initially because they already give you a lot of flexibility when it comes to payments. So I'm just going to drag in the donation amount field so you can also see it comes with some pre-configuration. Again, this can be adjusted to your organization's default. And if you click edit, you can see the interface is very nice. You can make changes to the amounts here. And this is also nice, like something that we've improved a lot, because on the current version of Impact Stack, it can be a little difficult to change these amounts and make sure that everything is set up correctly. Here, you don't have to worry about any of that. You can just make a change. You can add amounts as you like. You can drag them around, and you can remove them again if you like. You can control whether it's displayed as buttons or radios. So what you saw here in the preview were the buttons for amounts. You can have the custom amount, and of course, again, you can control all the field validations and such. So this is just a quick look at how much more flexible the new form builder is. And as we're building out the new features, you will have more steps here, kind of like the ones that you're used to with Impact Stack current version. So you'll be able to control emails. You can already do that. Here's the current email builder. And this is what I wanted to show you here. If you want to send a thank you email and you want to insert one of the dynamic pieces, like the little tokens, it's really easy. So the donation amount, whoops, you have a little interface here, and you can say thank you for donating. And that's how easy it is. You don't have to know any of these tokens. It's very easy to find them. This is where the visual email builder is going to go. So this is where you'll be able to it's basically the same editor, only with much more visual control and the email template around it. So that is it in terms of like a quick overview of Impact Stack Next Generation. Of course, there is a lot more where this came from. There are a lot of features that I couldn't show you today, but I would encourage you to ask for a more detailed demo. If you'd like to see one, feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to schedule one, talk you through it, show you all the details, and get your feedback.